work itself, by itself, is not fake work. Fake work only exists in relationship to the goal that it's trying to achieve. Take word search. Word search is a classic thing that sometimes we see in schools, and if the goal of word search is to increase vocabulary, it's fake work. It doesn't serve that purpose. But if you go to a restaurant and on the placemat of a restaurant is a word search, the goal of that is to keep the kid quiet until the food gets there. Perfect match of the goal to the activity. So the same word search, the same activity, is not by its very nature fake work or not. It doesn't meet the goal that that particular work is set out to meet. And so I think pushing back on, so what is it we're really trying to accomplish? What is the goal of this particular initiative? And then to try to give professional reflection on, is that the best way to get there? One of the tendencies of the legislature and other organizations that are trying to influence behavior of organizations is that they want to scale up something that they see as being good someplace. So they want to scale it up so that it is it's done everywhere. And I think probably the best example of that is the Becca bill. The Becca bill on its surface seems like a good idea, and in some places it's probably very effective. But we're hearing that in most places, because it is dependent upon so many different parts of the system to really be good, if any of those parts break down, then what the rest of the parts of the system or the other systems are doing is fake work. So they're going through the hoops of processing kids through the Becca system to no end. Because if the courts aren't willing to step forward and deal with these issues, then all the preparatory work that's happening in schools is very frustrating to the people that are doing it. Some fake work is done because you don't have all of the story, you don't have all of the background, you don't have the whole picture. And so you go merrily along creating what you think is the right thing, and you never had a chance to be successful in the first place because you didn't have the whole picture. I think that the example of Chicago trying to get the Olympics is probably a very good example of that. Chicago spent millions, tens of millions of dollars trying to get the Olympics to be in Chicago. The Olympics were never going to be there. They weren't going to be there because the United States Olympic Committee was not, they had a conflict with the International Olympic Committee, and that conflict I don't think was understood very well by the people in Chicago. Chicago was working along, they didn't have the whole picture. And I think sometimes legislators can be working along thinking, oh, okay, this is really going to work, and they just don't have the whole picture. So trying to get the whole picture as you anticipate what the work is going to be is one of the things that I think that we can help with. AWSP has started having a series of meetings around the state with principals getting together with their legislators. I think that the more we do that, the more that legislators will get a clearer picture of the implementation effect of the work that they're legislating. And they'll be more likely to ask, so if we do this, what is going to be the consequence? We are leaders in the education system, and we need to understand this concept and really think through what we're asking people to do. And is this work getting us closer to our goal? And always analyze ourselves against that. And seeking feedback from staff that is that kind of gets at, are they feeling the results of fake work? Do they think that they're doing things that aren't getting us where we need to be? I think the other thing that principals need to do is watch for it as they look at their teachers teaching. Are teachers asking kids to do fake work? Is the work that kids are doing really the best work they can be doing to get them to the ultimate goal? I just think the more that legislators or educators or businessmen can understand, or teachers can understand the concept of fake work, then they'll look for it.